Most often, when it comes down to it in fitness, you find that it's not really, truly about what we look like, but that there's some usually underlying issue that's not being dealt with, or some underlying need that's not being met. And we're using the excuse of wanting to change our body's physical appearance as a way to fill that need or fix that issue. And I think a lot of times it really does just come down to our ability to love ourselves. Welcome to the Energy Within podcast, helping you to embrace your weird, remember who you really are, and take action on your soul's purpose. My name is Carrie Jokala. I am your host. I am a Reiki master teacher, a fitness instructor, a wife, a mom to 2 little boys, and this is episode 204, and today we're going to talk about fitness. My other wheelhouse. Before I jump all the way in, because it is actually kind of going to tie in, I want to let you know, I sort of lied last week because for some reason I was thinking it was the last week of August, or at least the last Wednesday in August, and clearly I was wrong, because obviously I don't know when my birthday is. My birthday is August 31st, which is a Thursday, which means there's one more Wednesday. The one that you are likely listening to this episode on, unless you wait until after the release day. And so this is your last opportunity to be told on the podcast that founders pricing for Glow, the Confidence Club, is closing at the end of the day on August 31st. So if you want to get in for only $33 a month and have access to everything that we have done so far in the last couple months and continue to have founders pricing access for as long as you want to stay, you want to make sure you get in before the end of the day on August 31st. September 1st, the price is going up. So founders pricing base price is $33 a month. And it's going to be going up to $55 a month starting in September. So if you want to get in at the lowest price ever, make sure you get in before August 31st. Inside the membership, it's meant to help you on this fluid journey to maintain and or improve your confidence levels, really be able to step into who you really are and what you're here to do, and have the confidence and be able to maintain the confidence that you need to move forward on your soul's purpose. You have to really embrace who you are first before you can actually accept that you're worthy of your soul's purpose. And what I mean by that is not that you're not automatically worthy, but I know from personal experience that imposter syndrome shows up. The who am I to do this questions show up when you're not fully confident in who you are. So we start with that step, and that opens everything else up. So inside this membership, we do 1 monthly group Reiki session together. We do 1 live meditation together. And of course, for all of these, you also get the recordings if you can't be there live. And starting sooner than I was planning on, I'm going to start with some core training classes and some stretching classes that will be posted and available. I'm not sure if I'll do them. I might do them live. I might pre-record them. I'm not certain on those yet. I might just run it live. We'll see. The times and the days for all of our stuff right now currently is going to be varying depending on what each month looks like for me. But like I said, if you can't make it to things live, you always have access to the recordings. I get them up as quickly as possible right after they're recorded. And I would love to see you in there and to watch this membership grow and to really glow and be a light. For this group to be a light and help others to shine their lights. And that means you. So go to the link in the show notes and make sure you jump in to get in on Founders pricing before it is done at the end of August 31st. So, the reason for putting fitness classes inside this membership, and whether or not you're going to join the membership, just talking about fitness and how it's, in my belief, a necessary part of both your human and your spiritual journey. It goes back to the phrasing you've heard before, mind, body, spirit, taking care of all parts of you, all levels of who you are. And I'm not going to go too much into what I believe balance means, but to sum it up, I believe that balance is a thing, but too many people look at balance to mean things have to be 50-50, or that they always have to be at the same levels or you're not in balance. That's a bunch of crap. Things can shift and sway, and during certain seasons in your life, one area of your life might need more attention, but you might feel balanced that way, giving that area more attention and letting the other ones kind of be at a maintenance level. And then maybe you bring that one up. Maybe you can maintain all of them somewhat equally. And then other times, maybe that one comes into balance and another one needs a little bit more attention. It varies, and it's different for each person. It can be different each day. It can be different each hour. Who knows? So there's no right answer to what balance should look like. Balance is going to mean something different for everybody, but it does exist. So for me, fitness is absolutely a necessary part of your spiritual practice. I don't know if you can hear the banging. My kids are in the other bathroom, but they're kind of, I'm in one bathroom recording because we still don't have an office set up, and the kids are in the other bathroom. And they're making a lot of noise. But anyway, we can't neglect any area of our lives. So none of this denying our humanness just to better ourselves spiritually. We chose to incarnate as humans for a reason, or however you want to look at it. God created us as humans for a reason, and therefore we need to take care of our human bodies, not reject them, not act like they don't need to be taken care of because we want to ascend spiritually. I think we're better set up and better capable to ascend spiritually when we're not having to worry about our human bodies. And what I mean by that is we keep ourselves healthy, we keep ourselves fit, and I'm not talking about size or anything like that, just healthy, in good shape, fueled properly with healthy foods, lots of water, all of that. Because the goal in taking care of our bodies that way is to make sure that nothing's going wrong, or to help heal things that have gone wrong. No, I'm not a doctor, but I do know and I do believe that there's a lot that can be managed, taken care of, maybe even completely gotten rid of by taking care of yourself physically, eating the right kinds of foods. And there's no one right answer for that, so don't ask me or anybody else for anything like that. Ask the right people for you to help guide you. Trust your intuition, trust the signs that your body gives you, the cues that your body gives you when you eat or don't eat certain foods, or drink or don't drink certain things. We maintain our bodies because when that's in balance, when that area of life is in balance and in maintenance mode rather than falling apart and needing a lot of management, it makes it easier to spend a little bit more time focusing on the spiritual aspect. And I believe that taking care of our bodies is what our soul, what our spirit wants us to do as part of our time here. And there are two reasons why I'm deciding to start with a stretching class and a core class. I don't know if I'll do both of them next month, or if I'll just choose one and save the next one for the following month. It's going to depend on what September looks like for me when I go to schedule everything, and just what I think I can realistically accomplish. The fitness is going to be a little bit sporadic, where For sure, we're going to have the one group Reiki session a month, the one live meditation a month. And I'm going to aim, once I start doing this, to do at least one fitness class a month. But there might be more. They're not always going to be on the same day. It's not always going to be the same format. Eventually, I would also like to include some strength training classes and perhaps some yoga down the line. Perhaps bring back a little bit of turbo kick, some cardio classes like I used to teach. But the two reasons that I'm starting off with stretching and core, number one is it's going to be easier to record. So I'm just being honest about that. Because there's nothing I need to worry about with timing or choreography to a beat or anything like that. We can just play some music in the background and go at our own pace. It's ease of recording for one, but the other good reason, well, actually that reason itself kind of gets split into a couple other reasons. One is ease of accessibility. So everybody needs to stretch more, myself included. And core classes are often what a lot of people look for, core training, working on the abs. So specifically with the core training, your abs, we're dealing with the area right in your solar plexus chakra and a little bit into your sacral chakra. But specifically your solar plexus, that is the seat of your confidence, your self-identity, your self-esteem, your belief in yourself. So physically speaking, if we're focused on that area, if we are focused on keeping that area strong, that's going to help boost our confidence. And not just in the sense of what we might get our body to look like by doing core training. It's not even that, but it could be a little bit of that. I know personally my stomach, my abs, that area, my ab muscles, they've changed a little bit since having kids, but I think I'm finally getting stronger again. But for a long time, my abs were always super strong, but you couldn't see them. I kind of was starting to get close in between kids, but then of course a second pregnancy, and now I'm getting there, hopefully, kind of. But it's always been an area of my body that I have just kind of hated. And of course, I'm sure like a lot of you, I look back at old pictures and I'm like, what was I thinking? I looked fine. I looked great, actually, and I would not give anything, but kind of, just to use that phrase, like it would be nice to look like that again. But in some respects, it is true that if we get our bodies to look the way we want them to look, it can boost your confidence. I don't think it's something we should focus on because most often when it comes down to it in fitness, you find that it's not really truly about what we look like, but that there's some usually underlying issue that's not being dealt with, or some underlying need that's not being met, and we're using the excuse of wanting to change our body's physical appearance as a way to fill that need or fix that issue. And I think a lot of times it really does just come down to our ability to love ourselves. And that's a tricky topic too. But I do believe that taking care of ourselves physically is a reflection of self-love if we're doing it the right way. So that leads me to, are we punishing our bodies? Are we using fitness as a punishment? Are we using working out as a punishment for our bodies or a punishment for things that we've eaten that we don't think we should have? Are we pushing ourselves way too hard because we think it's going to get us quicker and better results, and really internally it's harming us? Like maybe the body's starting to look good, maybe there's some changes physically that are coming, but maybe we're not aware yet that internally the body's actually kind of breaking down because we're pushing too hard, too much. And that shows up when we end up with injuries. And if it's You know what? I was going to say if it's a result of something that happened while working out, but that's not even always necessarily the case. You could be pushing yourself so hard in your workouts that all of a sudden at some other point in the day you do something and your body just gives up essentially and you wind up with an injury. It is still a result of pushing yourself too hard. But when it happens that way, a lot of people, I think, don't connect the two because you're feeling strong in the gym, you're feeling good in the gym or in your workouts. So clearly it couldn't be that that caused this injury to happen at a different moment in your life. I don't believe in coincidences, in case you haven't heard me say that before. But are you looking at fitness as something that you have to do, that you dread doing? I think we need to change our mindset about what fitness needs to look like. It really is okay to go for walks. It really is okay to choose yoga or Pilates or stretching. I think sometimes our bodies do need more, and I am a big advocate for weight training. And if I may quickly address the misconception that women will bulk up, I know that female bodybuilders are a thing, but trust me, I haven't done it personally, but I do know a couple people who have done female bodybuilding competitions, and it takes a very strict, very specific diet and very specific, very difficult training to get your body to look like that on purpose. It's very unlikely that you're going to end up looking bulky. We're different. Our hormones are different. The way our muscles respond is different. We don't have as much testosterone as guys, which is what's responsible for building up the really big, bulky muscles. So focusing on weight training is what actually increases your metabolism and keeps it up. It's not cardio. You get a higher calorie burn, supposedly, during cardio, but that drops off as soon as your workout is done. You do weight training, and your calorie burn is going to be lower than cardio during the workout, but the metabolism is going to stay higher longer after your workouts. But nonetheless, whatever kind of movement you choose to do, go with it. I don't believe there's a wrong answer outside of making sure that you're not pounding your body into the ground with super high intense workouts all the time. I think intense workouts once in a while are fine, but I also don't think it's necessary. I used to really like the super high intensity workouts, and Turbo Kick can qualify under super high intensity, but I've actually started to need to modify. Like, I can't do all that jumping for that long anymore, which is surprising to me because I thought I was always going to be able to, but I've also reached that point that I never thought I would get to. So when I first became a fitness instructor, I would see or hear about when instructors get older, you reach a certain point, not necessarily a specific age, but maybe kind of around a specific age. A lot of them would stop teaching the high intensity classes and become yoga teachers. And I kind of have always wanted to become a yoga teacher. I have a training that I started going through and have not really had a lot of time to get much further in, but that's coming. But nonetheless, becoming a yoga teacher or not, I still thought that I wouldn't be one of those people. I would always want to do the high intensity stuff. How could you not want to? Just take care of yourself. And while I do also still believe that, because I know I have had some injuries that are due to overuse, possible improper form that just became bad habits or something that was just a little bit off in my form that I didn't notice until there was an injury. I kind of have reached that point. I taught insanity for a long time, and then that switched to grit, which is another high intense interval training format. And while I still like the format, I would actually still teach it if I still had a class going. The attendance in that class, things changed after COVID. Once everything opened up again, the evening grit classes just did not last. If you look at my gym, the morning, like the 5:30 a.m., like those people like to work. And I'm not making any comments on anybody who goes later in the day to the gym, but if you're going to the gym at 5:30 a.m., you are there to get your workout in and get out of there. So you got to be efficient. So that's why these people like those higher intensity classes in the morning. Those grit classes are still going strong. In fact, I think they even end up with a wait list, if I'm not mistaken. The evening ones never fully recovered, and mine somehow was the last one standing and eventually just got to a point where it had to get switched to something else because it just wasn't working anymore. And there was a part of me that was sad because I had that time slot for Insanity and through Grit for 9 years. So it was a little sad to have to give that up. But there was a part of me that was also a little relieved because it was becoming a lot. And I was finding myself, even as the instructor, having to modify and not really being able to do all the full jumps. And using the excuse of, I'm the instructor and I'm checking your form now instead of doing the workout with you. I just think overall, younger or older, that our mindset around fitness needs to change. It's not a punishment. It shouldn't be a punishment, so don't use it that way. And it doesn't have to be ridiculously high intense, at least not all the time. If you still like that, keep it in, but don't do it every day. Not even every other day, like maybe once a week is my personal recommendation as a fitness professional. Mix it up. Make sure you're getting and stretching. Make sure you're focusing on your core, but you're also not, like core doesn't just mean abs. Don't forget about your back. You can't just strengthen one side of your body and forget about the other one. But specifically, I know I've kind of gone off on some tangents here, but specifically focusing on your core, taking care and strengthening that area of your body is going to help, if we're doing it properly, is going to help the energy flow. It's going to help us feel better about ourselves. Strengthening your core is going to improve your posture. It's going to improve how you sit, how you stand, how you walk, how you carry yourself, which just naturally is going to improve your confidence. I know this isn't talking about the same area of your body, but if we're going to talk quickly about posture, even something as simple as keeping your head up instead of looking down while you're walking affects your confidence. And it affects how others perceive you. Others will perceive you as more confident if you walk with your head up. Even if you're not necessarily making eye contact with people or smiling at people, your posture and how you present yourself makes a difference in how others are more likely to perceive you. As an example, when I was much younger, there was a period where I, for whatever reason, decided to become more conscious of walking with my head up because I noticed I had been looking down a lot. And for multiple reasons, I knew that wasn't a good idea. So I actually, for a while, was very conscious of that. And that also ended up being the same stretch where I would go into stores, and I'm clearly not dressed as someone who works at any of these stores, and people would come up to me and start asking me where things were, asking me questions, thinking that I worked there. So your posture makes a difference, and a lot of that goes to our core strength. So that's my long-winded answer to why I believe incorporating a core training class into this membership is going to help with your confidence. And I want to learn a little bit more about meridians. I know that they're another thing, how chakras are energy centers at different points in our body. There are also meridians, which I believe is what EFT, the tapping, works with, and I'm pretty sure acupuncture. I've never had acupuncture, but I'm pretty sure that deals with the meridians too. It's another way of mapping out how energy flows through your body and what different areas of your body are connected through these meridians. And it works through your chakras as well. Like it's all interconnected. I My understanding is it's not necessarily a separate thing. They work together. But I'd like to learn more about that too, because I'm sure there's something there that we could talk about and incorporate with how we're training the core to help boost our confidence, focusing on clearing up that solar plexus chakra, changing for the better how we view ourselves, how we treat ourselves, how we hold and carry ourselves in every way that you can interpret that. And then stretching, being gentle with our bodies. That's another way, without specifically doing energy work, but maybe stretching is energy work if we're going to look at it like that. Areas of our body get physically tight, which slows down or can even sometimes stop really the blood flow, stop the energy flow. So yes, we can do the energy work to clear up the chakras, which can help release those muscles and get everything moving. But I think if we also work from a physical level, that can help too. I don't know a ton about it. You can go listen to the first episode where I brought Janessa Finley onto the podcast. She is a practitioner in this modality called healing from the body level up. So to me, from what I recall about that, we're starting from the physical level. We're not neglecting the physical in seeking a better spiritual experience. We take care of the physical body in addition to working on the spiritual and emotional and mental side of things. For example, clearly, I know how to do Reiki. I know that Reiki can help with injuries and muscle soreness and everything under the sun, basically. But when I am in extreme pain, like times when I have had really, really intense, kind of debilitating, like on the floor, unable to move episodes of back pain. They don't happen often, but they happen. It's really hard for me to give myself Reiki. I could do it, but the physical pain is in the way of my ability to focus. So I can ask for energetic help from my friends who can send me Reiki, and then I might need to just focus on taking care of myself in all the physical ways that I can do that, like taking Epsom salt baths, getting the heating pad or an ice pack, different essential oils that can help with muscle release and pain management, and stretches, trying to move myself as best I can to help the muscles release. So one's not better than the other. I believe that we need to incorporate all of it. The physical work, the energy work, the spiritual work. It all needs to be balanced. It all needs to work together. So I hope that made sense. I think I got to all of my points. And I would love to see you inside the membership. So before we wrap up, last chance, August 31st to get founders pricing. After that, it's going to go up to $55 a month, and the VIP amount is going to increase as well. Right now, the VIP is, I want to say, $97, which is less than just a one-off, one-on-one session with me. So if you want the membership and you would like some one-on-one attention every month, jump on the VIP at Founders Pricing, because it's going to increase to slightly more than just a one-on-one session. It'll still be a good deal, but I really encourage you to get in on Founders Pricing. If you have any questions at all, please let me know. If this episode resonated with you, if you found it helpful, I would sincerely appreciate if you would share it, send it to a friend, or post it to your social media. And if you feel so called, to leave a 5-star rating and a positive review, because that is really what's going to help with the algorithm in the podcast apps to boost the show, to get it shown to more people that way too. So if you're so called, I would appreciate it to really help the show grow and continue to reach more people. That's where I'm going to wrap it up. I hope to see you inside the membership. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you next time.